trained as a musician before I trained as an artist. And with these paintings, based on this idea of acoustic resonance, the sound becomes the paintbrush and the way I've learned to control the pigment in a really, really precise way. It's like you're making the canvas sing. And so you can actually see in real time the harmonies that I work with appearing in all of their amazing geometric forms. Music is just like that. It's this kind of constant creation and undoing of geometry in the air around us, which we can't see the geometry, but we hear it. When something's out of tune, the shapes of the harmonies are not coherent, they're not good. When something is in tune, it means that those geometries are a beautiful grid of waves that interlock with each other, rather than this kind of chaotic ocean of ripples. Until now, I've very often worked in monochrome, either black and white or blue and white. And when I was invited to do a project for Normandie Impressionniste, this project really was the right moment for me to start to very gradually and progressively investigate how different colors and different pigments react to sound. Because one of the really amazing things about Monet's 30 years painting the waterlilies was his endless investigation of color, pigment, how to express the way that the light was changed by these ripples, by these waves on the surface of his pond. So much so that he could spend decades trying to unravel that impression. And so the possibilities that all of these colors have brought to the painting has expanded it so much that there is a kind of atmosphere, a kind of depth, a kind of subtlety that I really didn't know was possible until I started working in this way. Monet talked about how the atmosphere, how the air affects the light. He even said the landscape doesn't exist in itself, it only exists through this medium of the air, which is constantly changing how you perceive it. In a way, that's one of the key things about this new body of work, is that I made recordings under the water in the pond at Giverny, and I've played them through the speaker whilst I'm painting, so that every harmony that I play to make the paintings is also very slightly disrupted by the sounds under the water of this body of light that Monet spent such a long time looking into. And I think and I hope that he would appreciate the idea of pushing this vision, this idea of how we see even further by bringing another sense, by bringing hearing into it, and completely transforming what we see through what we hear. The gallery that we're showing it in Normandie, the Hangar, is really beautiful, big space with loads of light and the river right next to the windows. And when you walk in, one of the first things you'll see will be this vast panorama of waterlily ripples made with sound, which is exactly the same dimensions as the Nymphéas that we find at the Orangerie in Paris. On the right, there will be a series of very small color studies. And beyond that, there'll also be a series of medium-sized works which I made on the journey to get to these large canvases. Given that when I paint these pictures, there's a lot of control, but it's not until you play and improvise in that moment that the form takes hold. And it's just like that with these paintings. It's like improvising jazz. It's the act of painting that gives you that kind of exciting possibility. Every moment a new form can come into being.